Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, where you can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our modular helmet overview and sizing guide at RevZilla.com. Now, at RevZilla.com, we carry just about every key modular available on the market. If you're not familiar with modular helmets are also called flip-up helmets. It's really a personal preference. There's a lot of stories, a lot of people call and they're like, well, I'm a smoker, do I need a flip-up helmet? No, these are not smokers' helmets. A modular helmet's a preference to give you the ability to do this. Flip a helmet up, and not really while you're riding, but at a stoplight, taking a break, if you pull over to check a map, if you want to put that chin bar up, you now have the ability to quickly and easily free up your face. A lot of people like it just to get a little bit of air. You know, you can do it low speed, but we don't recommend riding in any of these helmets to be completely open. But again, it's a personal preference factor. Now, what you're getting with a modular, everything we have here on the table is going to have an internal sun visor. And really, we have some basic helmets, and they go all the way up to the Apex products. The Schuberth, as well as the Shoei Neotech, are really the top of the food chain at this point. But you're going to see different features, different ability to have shells that are used from premium materials, better quiet factor, better neck roll, encompassing or encapsulation at the bottom. Again, it's just like buying any other helmet you'd see. The more investment you make typically gets you more features, comfort features, protective and safety aspects. Now, everything on the table is DOT. I do have one ECE rated helmet, and that is the Schuberth C3 that I have in front of me. And really the reason being is that when you have a modular helmet, it's not going to be 100% as safe as a full face helmet. As soon as you introduce a hinge and a mechanism to lock down here to be part of this entry point, you can see these steel rivets here. What happens is you're adding an area that's not a complete seamless band. You're adding a break point. So typically a modular is going to be more expensive, or I'm sorry, more protective than an open face helmet, but if you want the utmost in protection, and if you want to be able to take it to the track, you need to go full on, full face, and typically you'll see an ECE or a Snell rating. But I did mention the Schuberth is going to have that the ECE rating as well. Now, really quickly on the table, just to kind of give you a left or right of what I have sitting here, I have the Shark Evoline 2, I have a Shoei Neotech Schuberth C3, the Bell Revolver, and then I have the Nolan. In a second, I'm going to walk through kind of what's different on these key helmets and talk a little bit about investment. The first thing I want to talk about, though, is sizing. So how you would size for your modular helmet. Tell you this, it's exactly the same as you would size for your full face. So I'm going to bring up Peter. I'm going to show you in 10 seconds how you do it. Come on up here, Peter. If we wanted to measure Peter, this is Peter. Face that way for me, Peter. If we want to measure somebody for a helmet, what we do is we face them away from us. You take a soft tape or a string, grab a buddy. Peter, I'm your buddy for today. I'm going to move in. I'm going to pull the tape on an even line around the widest part of his head. Notice that we get to 23. It's 23 inches. It's that simple. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that measurement, go to the RevZilla size chart, and if it's in centimeters, you can make the conversion on our site. And what you can do is you can see where you fall. Now, typically, unless the video we do for the specific product says you want to go a size up or size down, depending on the sizing, if you're in between sizes on a helmet, you want to go to the lower size because it's going to break in about 10%, and that's for any helmet that you might see on RevZilla. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is helmet shape. The interior shape is going to be different on any helmet, usually by brand that we carry on the site. And when you watch the RevZilla in-depth video on any of these modulars, you're going to be able to see what we say about the helmet shape. Peter is an intermediate to long oval. And we see that Peter and I are very similar. Thinner on the sides and a little bit more pronounced front to back. There are other folks that have a more round, or what I would call a neutral shape, where it's a little more even. It'd be maybe a little bit wider in the temples. But if you can see on Peter's head, he's going to be that intermediate oval, and most people fall into that class of helmets. Thanks, Peter. So on the table, I have a few intermediate ovals in front of me. I'm going to have the Shoei, which is an intermediate oval. I have the Nolan N104, which is an intermediate oval. I have neutral helmets that are a little bit more all-encompassing, and that means they're a little bit more neutral. It's slightly more round than what you'd see from that oval shape. The Schuberth's going to be about neutral. The Bell Revolver is going to be about, and that's the Revolver Evo, is neutral. And then when we go past that, if you have a round head, which means it's really spherical as you're looking around this way, you'd go with something like the Shark Evoline 2, which we have over here. And now let's walk through some of the nuances of these helmets. Like I said, they all have a sun visor. This is the Evoline. The claim to fame on the Evoline is that the chin bar is the only helmet on the table that you can actually wear and ride with the helmet in the position that's open. So you see, you lock that back. I did about 1,000 miles in West Texas in the EVA line. This is the EVA line 2. You'll notice how this chin bar works. It's a different mechanism. This is really a transformer helmet. We also see, check out the Scorpion line for the XO 900. It also has that transformer factor where you can reconfigure. One of the newest helmets on the table is the Shoei Neotech. And this is really a top of the food chain, what I like to call an Apex product. Really rock solid from Shoei, uses interior materials that are super premium. It's the tri-composite shell. It's going to be lighter weight. One thing to note when you're looking at modulars, typically going into adding a hinge mechanism, you do see some weight over the standard full face helmet. So you're adding a little bit of weight. Notice with the Shoei 2 that I have great ventilation, lots of sizes, lots of colorways. Super premium from Shoei. The next one I have in the middle is another super premium, goes heads up with the Shoei Neotech Schubert C3. This has been one of the top selling modulars for a very long time, the most quiet modular on the market, and also has the lowest profile. You can see here I have a medium. It's very thin, very streamlined. You're going to see the shield mechanism is nice. You have your visor mechanism. Again, I have it in this hardcore high-vis red color, which is awesome. Comes in blacks, comes in silvers, comes in graphics. You know, great for that longer distance, super premium. A lot of BMW guys like this. Then moving from the Schubert, I have the least expensive helmet on the table. This is the Bell Revolver Evo. It's also the only sport-oriented modular that I have on the table. Notice internal sun visor, venting. It's really a play on that Bell Vortex shell, which is done so well. But again, it's got that modular shape to it. So if you're on a sport bike and you want that flexibility, you have a great option. To my left from that, I have my last helmet here today, and this is the Nolan N104, which is an Italian-inspired option. Really nice large eye port. You're going to have the ability to have also having the drop-down sun visor, great ventilation, a very unique shape. You can see the way that this is done, the way the ports work in the back. Again, neutral shape on that, neutral to intermediate oval, and it's going to work really well. Again, the Nolan N104 isn't as super premium as the Neotech or the Schubert, but again, it's going to be a really, really nice helmet design. You also have other helmets that are sub $200 from HJC. I mentioned from Scorpion. You're going to have some less expensive helmets, but really what we find is you get what you pay for when you start playing in this really technical bucket. And you'll feel it in the weight of the helmet. The nicer ones will be a bit lighter. You'll feel it in the mechanism on the shield or on the mechanism for the chin bar, how it moves, how solidly it works. And again, what you're getting here is a helmet, and I will say from a riding position standpoint, will perform really well up and down. Will also perform usually decently in the three-quarter position. They're not typically designed to be worn in the tuck, that hardcore sport bike position. So what we really find is anyone that's in an upright or a three-quarter position on a sport touring bike, on a sport bike, on a long-distance touring bike, these make great longer distance helmets. So remember, the key takeaway here with modular helmets is creature comforts. These are built to be comfortable, be full-featured, and offer you a great deal of flexibility, especially for longer distance rides. The other thing I neglected to mention is a lot of these have their own proprietary Bluetooth units. So the Schubert has the SRC, the Shark has the Shark Tooth, you know, you have the Nolan with the B4, and then the Shoei and the Bell and some of the other ones will take an aftermarket just as well depending on how the neck roll is done. And remember, watch the full detailed breakdown video of any of these helmets that where I go through top to bottom, pull them apart. Also be sure to check out the modular section of RevZilla.com, which you might already be there if you're watching this video, and look for all of the constantly ever-changing line of graphics and solids and even new styles available on RevZilla.com. So if you have any questions about buying a modular helmet, why you should choose a modular helmet, any of the modular helmets that I have in front of me today, or any of the other helmets on RevZilla TV that we didn't cover today, give us a shout. Call our Gear Geeks. See us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. As always, anything on RevZilla.com over $39. Ships for free, we'll exchange it for free, no restock fee as long as you send it back to us in brand new condition, and you can always earn Teamzilla cash to be applied to your next order by continuing to shop with us and placing orders over $100. So for every $100, we're going to give you some cash back, save you some money in the long run. Thanks for watching our modular helmet overview and sizing guide available at RevZilla.com. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.